A father living in Savannah is growing closer to his son who lives in D.C. thanks to a bike and a helmet. Our Camille Syed met up with this dynamic duo whose shared interest is now putting them in front of a national audience.
That's Larry Ware Sr. and Jr. gearing up to bond in the way they know best.
My son actually started riding first.
Neither of them knew then that decades later, Larry Sr. would get a bike of his own.
And, you know, he just started riding when he was in high school, and I just started liking it, so I figured I'd pick it up. And I had to wait till after I retired in order to start riding.
You may think Larry Jr. was the first to spark his interest, but think again.
Technically, he started riding back in '72 when he was stationed on the USS Lexington. One of his shipmates owned the Triumph and allowed him to ride his bike when they were on the ship, when they ever had like weekend breaks or whatever.
But Larry actually took the leap to buy his own bike at the age of 64.
He said, "Hold on a second," and he made some noise in the background. He said, "You hear that?" And I was like, "Dad, what's that?" He's like, "That's my motorcycle."
And that same sound is bringing them together in ways they never imagined, even during uncertain times.
Over a year ago, this past June, I had a stroke, right? And if it wasn't for the good Lord and my wife, Adrian, I probably wouldn't be here.
Taking a break from riding for 3 months was not ideal for this dynamic duo.
We're planning on going to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the Harley-Davidson 120th anniversary. Well, I kind of put a damp on that. I couldn't go.
At some point, I was like, "Hey, Dad, since you can't make this trip, how about I ride your bike to Milwaukee, and then it'd be like we both went to Milwaukee."
That trip changed both of their lives, even though Dad couldn't make it. With exposure to the right people, Larry Jr. got an offer they couldn't turn down.
Guy was like, "Hey, how would you and your dad like to ride some brand new Harley Davidsons?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, we'd like to ride some brand new Harley Davidsons." So they flew me to Atlanta, and they brought him up to Atlanta, and we rode. We were essentially part of Harley Davidson's 2024 model launch.
They were a part of that and this. A short documentary about their love for riding. It's named Boiled Peanuts, the title paying homage to the South.
And I never would have figured that it would get to this point, but I'm happy with it. I mean, Harley Davidson, when you're ready for me to do another one, I'm ready.
And he wouldn't be ready if he never took the leap of faith his son inspired him to.
People, they put off what they want to do, and I don't want one day to be sitting on the front porch or something and say, "Man, I wish I had did that." So I get out and ride with my son. He's my inspiration to ride.
Junior once looked up to him. Now they're looking up to each other. It's something they don't take for granted.
All this stuff is material. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, whatever. But at the end of things, those stories, those experiences that you have with your parents and your children, those are ones that are going to last forever.
Camille Syed.
That's my dad.
WTOC News.
Around the holidays.